charisma. Okay, we all want to be more charismatic, right? But there's people out there who, one, believe that, you know, charisma is something either you have or you don't, and you just like either are lucky and have it or you don't. Or two, that only men can be charismatic. Ladies, I'm here to tell you that neither of those beliefs are true. And so let's talk about how to be more charismatic and to work on your charisma, because people who are charismatic tend to make more money, have more friends, and be more successful in life. So let's work on being more charismatic, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so charisma is actually defined as the ability to charm and influence and attract those around you, right? And charismatic people are those that we want to be with. They're people that are easily likable, and they just like make us feel better for being in the room, right? And they're people that we all are attracted to. And so charisma actually breaks down into three things: presence, power, and warmth. So in this video, I'm going to talk about each of those three pillars of charisma, what it is, and what you can do to actually practice that principle of charisma so that you can be a charismatic woman, because charisma is actually something that we all want and we can all obtain. So let's talk about how. First and foremost, let's talk about presence, because I believe that presence does a lot of the heavy lifting of being a charismatic person. So when you think of somebody who has charisma in your life, right, and somebody that you're like, yes, they're my role model for charisma, when they walk into a room, you know it. They just have this presence and ambience and sense of being to them. So how do you get that? Well, there's like so many things, so I'm gonna rattle them off to keep this video short. Listening intently to other people, asking questions, being like actually like mindful of the room. You know who's in it. You acknowledge everybody in it. They acknowledge you. Like, you are being present, for lack of a better word, in that room. And an exercise that people practice to be more charismatic is to what they call be the big gorilla. Is to actually work on your posture, to work on taking up space in the room of just being there and being comfortable with you in that room, in your body. So to work on this, like I said, practice that big gorilla of like, when I walk into a room, I'm going to put my shoulders back. I'm going to be this big gorilla in the sense of like, I'm dominant, I have power, and not over other people, just like being there. So work on this sense of presence, work on your posture, work on acknowledging people, work on being mindful of the whole room and playing to the whole room, right? We don't want to just talk to the one person we're really interested in. We want to look around, we want to gesture. That's another thing, is just like using your body in a positive way. That's like how I'm going to sum up this whole tip. I mean, just think about it. When somebody's like, all tied up in themselves and like, oh, hi, I'm here for the big meeting. Like, nobody's going to give them the time of day, right? When you come in and you're just casual and relaxed and like, hello, how are you guys today? I'm here for the big meeting, right? Just a huge difference in that. So work on your presence, work on not being afraid of using your body in a positive way wherever you are to influence those around you. So the second pillar of charisma is power. Now, this is hard because probably for like 99% of us, and myself included, our sense of power on being charismatic isn't actually coming from like money or prestige, right? Because we tend to have a lot of respect for people that do have power and they can make things happen for you. And so how do we as like normal, everyday people exert that power? Well, you can do it in a couple of different ways. And one is the way that you dress, the way that you sound, and the way that you present yourself. So to dress with power, I don't believe that you actually have to like wear a power suit every day or, dress in a suit and tie. No, I think it's more that you own your clothes. Like, there's nothing like shy about you because you're confident in who you are. And this comes from, I'm dressed neat and nice in the way that I like, and that can be all different styles. I believe any style well done can have a sense of power to it. And then also like You're confident in who you are. You're confident in the value that you're bringing to that person. That's a huge sense of power, of just knowing who you are. And the last tip that I'd like to add to that is your voice. You know, if you're like really shy and talking really fast or like really high and you're just, I just don't know. Not a very charismatic person, right? And so own your vocal power and own, how you look, how you dress, and the value that you bring. Because like I mentioned, I don't have a lot of power in the sense of like the world of like, I can't get you a job. I can't make things happen for you in certain senses. Like, I don't have a lot of money or nice cars or like a Lamborghini, right? But I do have the power of being confident, of using my voice to exude confidence and to exude the fact that like I have control of the situation. I have control of my words, right? It's that power I think you should focus on in the sense of like being and the way that you look and dress and you feel confident. So don't be intimidated by this pillar of power when you're like, oh, but I really don't have a lot of power. You actually do. And I challenge you to find that power within yourself and to exude that confidence and pair that with presence. So you've got presence and power. And let's talk about the last pillar, which is warmth. Okay, warmth to me is like my favorite pillar of confidence, and it's the fact that what really sets charismatic people apart is that they make you feel important. And Dale Carnegie teaches the example of man's best friend, which is a dog, right? Because the reason people truly love their animals and love their dogs, or your cat or your parrot, like a dog for perfect example, is that when you get home from work, they are so genuinely excited to see you. And you know it, and there's no doubt in your mind that they love you, that they appreciate you, and they don't want anything from you. They don't want money, they don't want to marry you, they just want to be there, and the fact that you are there alone is what is making them so happy and overjoyed. So use that type of warmth to your advantage. Be genuinely excited to see people. Genuinely be interested in them. And not for any reason other than you care about them as a human being. Because people can see through motives, right? Or maybe if they can't, you can only fool them for a little bit of time before they're like, oh yeah, Abby was only interested in me because she wanted something from me. That is not the type of warmth that gets you to being a charismatic person. So practice, being like a dog in this sense of just being genuinely excited for people and, being an optimist, being excited, being energetic. Those are traits that people love and people cling to. And so this is like the perfect sum up of all of these 3 points of being charismatic, of having presence, power, and warmth, is that when you walk into a room, people are thrilled that you're there because not only do you act and like give them confidence that you're there because you can solve problems, because don't worry, like you'll figure it out. They feel better that you're there, but they also know that you genuinely care about them. So when you're able to take that cocktail of presence, power, and warmth, honey, you are going to like set your success on fire, because people want to be around that type of person. People want to date and have relationships with that type of person. People want to like reward and be with that type of person. And that's why charismatic people tend to get further ahead in life. So my challenge for you, to practice something every day in one of these areas of presence, power, or warmth. So, take today, for instance, and say, you know what, today I'm going to work on being mindful of the room I'm in and mindful of my body. And am I gesturing? And am I being, a big gorilla in the room? Okay? Or maybe today you're going to practice on genuinely listening to people and like actually like listening to them and not just making the motions of like, well, okay, that's cool. Do you want to go get like lunch? Right? But being present with them. So I hope that these tips help you out, because charisma is something you can totally learn, something that we can all like amp up if we already are a charismatic person, and will get you so much further in life. And so work on these tips. Let me know if you agree with these 3 pillars of charisma, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. So I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Abby J out.